How do you deal with conflict, disagreement between team members? It doesn't directly involve you as the team leader or manager. But of course, every conflict on your team involves you at some level. But this is a disagreement between team members. They can't see eye to eye on methodology, on strategy. There's just a conflict there that needs to be resolved so that the team and the project can move forward. How do you handle that? Do you take the hands-off approach and say, look, they're grown folk, they can handle it, they'll figure it out? Hands off and just let them deal with it? In some cases that has merit. In some cases that will work. Not every case. On the other hand, do you take the heavy-handed approach? So on the one hand, you have the hands-off. Lots of hands in this, right? On the one hand, you have the hands-off approach. On the other hand, you have the heavy-handed approach. Now, the heavy-handed approach is very authoritarian, right? It says, look, this is my resolution. This is how I'm going to fix it. Like it or not, this is the way it will be. My way or the highway. Heavy-handed. Heavy-handed, hands-off. How do you handle that conflict between these two members who are creating a bottleneck, who are creating a hold-up on very critical functions that need to be done so the team or the project can move forward? Of course, handling it effectively and quickly is important. The longer this impasse continues, the more productivity declines, and as productivity goes, so does profitability. And especially if you're a business owner and it's your money on the line, so to speak, as a small business owner, there's an urgency in getting this thing resolved. And sometimes because of that, as small business owners, we tend to use the heavy-handed approach. Hey, this is not going to continue much longer. Let me fix it. If you guys can't handle it, boom, there it is. Now, in corporate America, large corporations, if you're a manager for the department and it's really not your money on the line, you might be inclined to take the hands-off approach and let them handle it, right? But neither approach is the prescription for effective leadership. There may be isolated incidences and cases where one of those extreme approaches may work, but in general, there is a middle ground where, as a leader or manager, you could be the referee, the umpire between two members that are in conflict or in disagreement. Where do you stand? Are you closer to the heavy-handed approach? Are you closer to the hands-off approach? Now, of course, it depends on the situation, the dynamics of the situation. I'm not recommending that you pick an approach and stick to your guns no matter the specifics and the dynamics of the situation. It's very fluid. Sometimes you may be closer to the heavy-handed approach. Sometimes you may be closer to the hands-off approach. Diagnosing the situation quickly and effectively is important so that you could then bring a solution or a resolution to that conflict in a expeditious manner. Part of leadership is being a referee. Part of leadership is being an umpire, calling balls and strikes, so to speak. In fact, my Atlanta Braves are playing against the Los Angeles Dodgers this evening with a chance to go to the World Series. So I hope the umpire calls balls and strikes accurately or in our favor. Yeah. but as a leader manager, you are often in the role of the umpire. And truth of the matter is, doesn't matter what call you make, nobody's going to be 100% happy. Whether your call is to be heavy-handed or close to heavy-handed, or your call is to be hands-off or closer to that end of the spectrum, no matter what you do, it's very unlikely that everyone will walk away happy. And that's okay. As an umpire, as a leader manager, you have to have thick skin and be able to say, look, this is the solution that works best after you've talked to both sides, if you've researched and analyzed the dynamics of the situation, and make a call. You just have to make a call as a leader manager. Where do you fit? What are some of the dynamics that you look for that would determine where you fall on that spectrum? What are some of the things that you look for to determine whether you should be close to the heavy-handed or closer to the hands-off? Shoot me a response in the chat line there. It'd be very interesting to see what you, as a leader manager, it's interesting to see your take on this whole dynamic of being an umpire as a leader manager.